What's up, guys? So today I'm making another little video for you guys. Alright, so what's up? Today I'm making another video, as you can see, because it's a video and it's another one. So I'm gonna carry on with the video I was making yesterday. So the video I was making yesterday was what was it about? It was about my experience being quiet, antisocial, alone, awkward, different, having anxiety, having no social skills, and not fitting in. That was what the video was about, but I ran out of time because my roommate came home, and then I can't make the video because it's hella loud and I'm talking. I don't want to record a video while my roommate's home, so I had to end the video. I didn't have to end it, but I chose to end it. You feel me? And that's what happened. So, but now I'm back. It's the next day. My roommate's not here. I can make the video. So here we go. All right. So number one. So I want to talk about not just what I am, which is, all those things I listed: quiet, antisocial, alone. Because yeah, I am that. But how did I become like this, and why did I become like this? That's what I want to talk about. So. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Oh wait, I make. Let me. Nah, we're good. All right. So, anyways, I was thinking if I made more notes and wrote down an actual script on what to say, but I don't think I did. I think I just wrote these little notes. But so, anyways, so yeah. So why I actually became quiet. Right, because I wasn't born quiet. I don't think anyone's born quiet. They become quiet, for a reason. So I think what happened was, the reason why I became quiet was, in 7th grade. Okay, in 7th grade, like I said, I don't even know if I uploaded the last video, so I'll just say it again. In the 7th grade, I had to move with my mom. I used to live with my dad from 2nd grade to 6th grade. Right, well, family issue happened. I had to move with my mom, who lives in a different city. I don't want to say the cities. I don't want to get doxxed. So I don't think that would happen, but I just don't want to say the cities. But I moved from a town to a city. The city is a bigger city, and my mom lived there. And so, 7th grade is happening, and I moved with my mom. Boom. Okay, so I guess we'll start from the beginning. The beginning of 7th grade, I needed certain vaccines or shots or something that I didn't have. So my mom had to schedule doctors around So my mom had to schedule doctor's appointments for me to get these vaccines and shots. Right? Because of this, I missed out on 2 to 3 months of the year in the beginning. So I didn't go to school for the first 3 months. I was at home playing Fortnite, World War II. Wait, did Fortnite? I don't think Fortnite came out yet, actually. No, it didn't. Fortnite came out October of that year, I remember. It's 2017. So Fortnite wasn't out yet. I was playing World War II, Rocket League, GTA 5. I was playing, I don't think Destiny 2 came out yet either. Destiny 2 came out later that year, I don't believe. But yeah, I was playing video games, see that? I was playing Black Ops 3. Hell yeah, I was playing Black Ops 3, boy. I think Chronicles that dropped, so I was, I was grinding that. Alright, so anyways. So 3 months passed, I finally get to go to school. But I started later than everyone else, so I was the new kid, right? And if you know anything about being a new kid, it can either be really bad or really good, depending on where you are. So, but I was a new kid. And, yeah, I didn't have any friends. I didn't talk to anyone, so I went there. I didn't talk to anybody. I went to my classes or whatever, did my thing. Maybe exchanged a couple words with people, asking me questions here and there, but I didn't really talk. I didn't really have any friends, so yeah, as that went on, so what's it called? So since I don't have friends, I didn't hang out with anyone, I didn't talk to anybody, I was alone. So I'd go to lunch, I'd sit at lunch, eat alone. After lunch, I would get up and go. I would either walk around, or I'd sit on a bench, or I'd sit on the floor, or I'd stand in the hallway, and that's what I did. And yeah, I just didn't have friends. I might read a book if I had a book or whatever. But most of the time, I was literally just sitting on the ground by like a little, like, there wasn't a water fountain there. I was there. I don't know. There might have been a water fountain there. I think it's like a sink or something, like right there. And I would sit right under. I could picture it in my mind exactly. And I could show you the exact location, but I'm not going to do all that. Imagine a cement floor with a brick building right beside it like that. Imagine like a little sink on the brick building with like a little hallway to the right of the brick building going this way. And then there's me sitting right there on the floor by myself in the corner. So, yeah, there you go. And this pretty much went on for a good while, I want to say. Like, I want to say this went on for, I'm not actually sure how long it went on, but it went on for a long time. I was just alone, no friends. I was actually, like, depressed. But, yeah, I was going through it, bro. I ain't gonna lie. And then after school, I'd walk all the way to the bus stop. I'd hop on the bus, wait 30, 45 minutes to get home. Then they drop me off. Then I had to walk all the way home. Then finally, when I got home, I would go walk up the stairs, and I'd hop on Fortnite with the boys. This is later, after Fortnite can't come out and stuff, because it came out October. So yeah, I was in class about then, and yeah, I was just grinding Fortnite, you know. But season 3 and season 2 was out right now. Now I was playing. All right, I ran out of space. I had to delete some shit, and now I'm back. I'm recording. All right, I'm back. All right, I'm trying to speed it up. All right, so 7th grade or whatever. So I came back home. I was playing Fortnite. That was like my coping mechanism, bro. Fortnite. If you know anything about Fortnite in its OG days, that shit was goated, bro. And I would just come home, play with my friend who lived where I used to live, and we just play. We just had fun, bro. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. So yeah. So since I was alone at school, had no friends, you know, I kind of got used to being alone, you know, and it kind of just became what it is. Like, I got used to it, and it became more ingrained in me. Yeah. So that went on for a while. I made some acquaintances. I don't know. They're like friends, but they're acquaintances in some classes. Like, in one class, I had like one acquaintance. We'd play Fortnite from time to time. And then in another class, I had another acquaintance. And then in my dance class, I had another, like, 2 acquaintances. And then they were also in my, like, history class. We were acquaintances there. And, yeah, what else classes did we have? So, in computer class, I had one in there. So I had English computer, 2 acquaintances. And then I had one in dance. And then I had one in... dance, and then it was history. Wait, what's history? No, it was English computer, and then it was, I think, yeah, English computer, history, and PE. I had acquaintances in all those. It was the same people. It was like the same 2 people. It was like a white kid with like blonde hair, and then like a Russian looking kid with glasses. He was kind of chubby. That's what I remember. He had brown hair, short haircut. So I had them. I mean, we didn't really, like, we hung out in class and, like, talked, I guess, kind of, you know. You would hang out, mess around in class or whatever, but I didn't, like, have them added on, or I don't know if I did. I don't remember playing with them, so I don't think I did, but, yeah, we weren't, like, friends outside of school. We were acquaintances in school, so I had gained some acquaintances, right, which is, you know, good. It's nice to have some people to hang out with. And then... in my other classes that I had, which was English, and then it was, I'm trying to think. I think it was, I want to say it was English, and then it was, God, I don't remember it. It was English. I want to say it was English, dance, science, and then math. That's what my other one was. It was English, dance, math. Yes, it was. Yes, that. So English, dance, math. No. English, dance, science, and then math. And then my other one was English, computers, then it was history, then it was PE. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, so anyways, I started gaining acquaintances, and in my other period, because every 3 months I think we changed like schedules, we would change like classes in your periods would change, your lunch would all that change. So and my other one, the one I had English, dance, science, and math, I have acquaintances in 2 of those, or yeah, like 2 or 3 of those classes. And then the other one, same thing, I had like 1, 2 in my English, computers, history, PE. I had acquaintances. So I had gained acquaintances. I mean, I don't know, I'm happy. So that's what had happened. And yeah, so after that though, after the school year ended, couldn't have been faster for me. I was very happy. I didn't have to go to school anymore for that summer. Grinding Fortnite, living, you know what I'm saying? But after that, we moved back, or I moved back with my dad, me and my brother, which was in summer, which is my 8th grade summer. Now, this was an important year for me because we moved again, so I had no friends. I was alone again, but we moved to a much, much smaller town. Like I'm talking like a tiny town with like maybe 100, 200 people. And the school there is very nice. Since it's so small, everybody's close and everybody's friends. So when I went to that school, I actually had friends. I had a lot of friends. And it was cool. I loved it, man. You know, having friends is amazing. If you know, you know. So yeah, I just have to leave more shit because I keep running out of space, bro. I need to speed this shit up. Right, so pretty much. Then 8th grade came around, I actually had friends, but then in the 9th grade, I also had friends, but then that's the year COVID happened. That was 2019 to 2020. So high school, I did have friends for the first year, but then COVID happened, and then my brother also graduated, and we moved from that little town to a town near over. It's a little more populated town. But since we lived in this more populated town, and my brother already graduated from the school, my parents said, we're not going to keep you in this school because it's too far of a drive. And you're not even in this district anymore, so you're going to go to a school over here. So we moved again, and I had to move to another school again. But this time we were doing online because it was COVID. So I was doing an online school, you know, all F's, playing Fortnite with my boys the whole time, as you may or not you would have. So that happened for like, a good bit of that first year was like that. And then, what was it? Yeah, a good, wait, was the whole year like that? I'm trying to do my whole sophomore year. Because I remember doing that. Yeah, okay, so for the first little bit of my sophomore year was like that, just straight F's, going to the high school. It's all online because of COVID. Chilling, playing for it. All right, time passes. My parents get mad at me because my grades are bad. And so they switched me to this actual online school. It's called like an independent school. So I started doing that after Christmas, and I was doing that. It was on Ingenuity, if you know what that is. So I was doing Ingenuity, easy as hell, fun as hell. If you know about Ingenuity. I'm gonna say is script. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say too much, but script. So I did that for a while. Was doing good. Junior year comes around, but here's the thing though. As I'm doing this, obviously it's online school, so I'm at home alone. So I'm not with it. Well, I have my family, but besides my family, I'm just chilling in my room alone. All right, take note of that. So I was alone. So yeah. So junior year comes around, same thing. I just do the independent school the whole time, Ingenuity the whole time. Get some good grades. It's fun. It's easy. I love it. I did have to go in person though I'd have to go once a week in person. So I'd go for like an hour once a week, which was a good ass deal. And then did that. Didn't have any friends. Didn't hang out with anybody IRL. Just online. Senior year comes around, same thing. Didn't have any friends IRL. Just hung around online. And yeah, and I graduated in that school. They never gave me my diploma. So I don't know. I gotta call them or something. They never sent me my diploma, but I did graduate. 100% fact. They literally told me when I did my finals, or like, congrats, or I don't even know what the fuck they said. But yeah, so all my teachers are cool though. But anyways, yeah. So I was alone like the whole time. So I don't know if you can imagine not having friends and being at home alone and just being alone in general for a very long time, it will definitely take an effect on you. It will change you, obviously. So that's how I became quiet, right? Through all this stuff. Now, antisocial. Now, I want to say, ever since the 7th grade, I became antisocial. That changed me so much to where I became like that. Because I was always kind of quiet and I was always kind of shy, but that made me antisocial. That made me not one. You're at the market and I keep running out of space, so I'd be quick. So antisocial. I was always kind of antisocial. Well, I was always quiet. I wasn't really antisocial. Ever since 7th grade happened, I was just alone by myself, having no friends. That's when I really became antisocial, and I didn't want to like go up to anybody because I actually tried to make a friend. I went up to some random kid and I said, "Hey, I was talking to him about some stuff, and I was like, "Hey, do you want to be friends?" And he looked at me like this. And hey, ever since then, I was like, "Nah, fuck that. I'm not even gonna try to make friends with you anymore. Fuck this shit. I'm not doing it." So that's what happened, right? So ever since then, I became antisocial. Being alone, I've always kind of been alone. Well, not really. I became more alone, obviously, as time went on. 7th grade, COVID. That's how I became more and more alone. And being awkward, I've always been awkward. I want to say like, let me think. I've always just been awkward in a sense. Like, I don't know. Like, I always feel like I was never normal. I always feel awkward. I always feel like I was never normal. I always feel like I don't fit in. I always feel like I stand out. Like, I feel like I'm like a normal human. I don't know why. Like, I just don't feel normal. And it's like, yeah, I just don't feel normal, bro. I don't know. All right, I'm back, bro. I ran out of space again. All right, so I could have speed run this shit right before I keep running out of space. All right, so being awkward, I already talked about that. I've always just been awkward. I don't know. I was born awkward, I guess. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like I'm like, I feel like an alien, but I'm not an alien. I'm a human. So it's very weird. Like, I don't know. Wherever I walk around, I feel like people look at me. I mean, they do look sometimes, but they're not. Obviously, people are going to look at you, but I feel like I'm an alien. I feel different. I feel like I don't fit in. I feel like I'm an alien. I don't know. That's how I feel. So, now being different, I guess you could say, I am different because I'm obviously weird. Well, I'm not weird, but I'm a loner. And people see loners as weird. So, I'm definitely different because obviously, if someone's quiet and they don't talk, you're going to be different. People are going to look at you weird. So, I've always kind of had that too. I've always been kind of shy and quiet. So, yeah. So, right off rip, that makes me different than people. I'm not a normal person who likes to talk. So, just because of that, I've always been different. People like looked at me and kind of thought I was weird because I'm quiet and I do not talk. I'm saying the same stuff, but yeah. So I've always been different because of that. I've always been alone, quiet, and being different comes with that. Now, having anxiety. Okay, this is a good one. So I didn't always have anxiety. I feel like ever since when it was 7th grade, I'm sure. I don't know. When is this? I'm trying to think of how I actually started having anxiety. I think it was because 7th grade, even then, I didn't really have anxiety. I had a little bit of anxiety from school and shit like that. I didn't want to go to school. I didn't like it. I was like, I'd have a little bit of anxiety. But ever since COVID happened and I really was secluded for a while, that gave me a lot of anxiety and also, like, what's it called? How do I put this? Certain family issues, I feel like, gave me most of my anxiety. Ever since then, like, I really had anxiety because of that from family issues. So, like, to the point where, like, if you hear loud footsteps, like, loud enough and aggressive enough, like, what's it called? Like, I get anxiety and my heart would start to beat fast, and it was like that. And then that carried on into if I walk outside the house, I get, like, anxiety, you know? And so if I walk outside the house to go to the gas station, there's people in there, I gotta, like, pay, I get anxiety now. I shake, and I get, my heart beats hella fast. It's really annoying. And it sucks, actually. Okay, so, and then social skills. Obviously, if you're alone, you're quiet, you don't talk to people, your social skills are not going to be very good. My social skills are not very good because of that fact. It is what it is. I'm not complaining. It's truth. And then, and not fitting in. Okay, well, it's the same one as being different. Obviously, like, if you're quiet and you don't talk to people and you're alone, you're not going to fit in by definition, you know? You're just not going to fit in. Because to fit in is to be with a group of people and belong there. If you're alone, you're not with a group of people. So if you're alone, you're quiet, you're antisocial, you're not with a group of people, and you don't belong there. You don't belong to anybody. So that's me not fitting in. So yeah, I just wanted to... This is my personal experience from my life on how and why I am quiet, antisocial, alone, awkward, different, and why I have anxiety, no social skills, and I don't fit in. I'm not being a victim, and I don't want any pity parties, but I don't want you to feel bad for me. I just want to tell the truth and talk about my story, because I know for a fact there are other people in the world who can relate to me, my life, and my story. I just know. I'm not the only person like this. I can't be. It's impossible. I know there's other people out there who are quiet, who are antisocial, alone, awkward. They're different. They have anxiety, no social skills, and they don't fit in. I just know that it's impossible, literally impossible for another person like that to not exist. So yeah, I wanted to dive into how I became like this. Not just that I am this and my experience from being this. I wanted to talk about how I became this. And that's what I want to talk about this video, and I believe I achieved that goal. So I'm looking at my notes, make sure I got... That's pretty much it for this video. Bro, I had to restart the recording 3 times because I don't have space on my phone. Like, this shit is so annoying. But at least I got it done. Fuck, man. I'm going to be uploading a lot more videos, bro. You feel me? I got to. I really got to. And I want to. Well, I don't have to. And I don't need to, but I want to. And yeah, I enjoy it. I love it. So if you guys enjoy this video, like the video. If you guys want to subscribe. If you want to comment. And yeah, guys, that's it. Peace.